Part 2, operations with rational and irrational numbers. So now that we've decided what's a rational and what's an irrational number, we're going to go ahead and figure out, okay, what happens when we take two numbers and we combine them? Either we add them or we subtract them or we multiply them or we divide them, any operation. What happens when one is rational and one is irrational? Okay, so here are the rules. If I take two rational numbers and I add them, or subtract them, or multiply them, or divide them, I end up with a rational number. Right? So if I have two rational numbers and I do something with them, I subtract them or divide them, then my number will still be rational. Okay? But what if I take an irrational and a rational number, and then I add, subtract, multiply, divide them? Then my answer is going to be irrational. And if I take two irrational numbers and I add, subtract, multiply, divide them, my answer will be irrational. So basically, in order for my answer to be rational, both of the starting numbers have to be rational. Once I involve an irrational number, it's going to stay irrational. So if I have an irrational number and then I add 5 to it, it's still going to be irrational. Okay, or I have an irrational number and I multiply it by 3, it's still going to be irrational. Okay, so we're going to look at these problems, and the problems that you're going to see on this, they ask the question in sort of different ways, but the question is pretty much always, how am I going to get a rational number here? So let me show you the example, then you'll have a chance to try it. So it says, for which value of p and w is p plus w a rational number? Right? So here's what we want. We want p plus w, some number plus some number, to be rational. So what needs to happen in order for it to be rational? Well, p needs to be rational, and w needs to be rational. That's the only way that I can end up with a rational answer, is if they are both rational. So in each answer choice, it gives me a value for p and w. And so remember that a rational number is a division of two integers, right? So these are all division, right? This is division, this is division. What I'm looking for rational numbers is division of two integers. So let's look at this one. So p, 1 over root 3. Root 3 is not an integer, right? So this is not rational. And because I need two rational numbers, if I look at one and it's not rational, I can immediately cross off that answer choice. In b, it says 1 over root 4. Well, root 4 is an integer. Right here, p equals, right, 1 over the square root of 4 is 2. Well, that's a rational number, so that works. What about w? 1 over the square root of 9. Well, what's the square root of 9? The square root of 9 is 3. So this is also rational. So b looks like it should be my answer. Let's just double check with the other answer choices to make sure. Root 6, that is not a rational number because that is root 6, the square root of 6 is a decimal. So this is not rational, and therefore this can be crossed off. And d, 1 over, root 25, that is a rational number, right? That's 5. So this is a rational number. Let's check the other one. Root 2, that's not a rational number, so we can cross that one off and cross this off. And so our answer is B. Okay. So down here in these two questions you're going to try, the question is asking the same, right? It's like, how can I get a rational number? And what you have to remember is that in order to get a rational number, the two starting numbers have to be rational. So you're basically just looking for the two rational numbers in each problem. Go ahead and try those and then come back to this.